Hello, I'm Orla Allen Medium and Orla Allen Author, and here are some cards for you. So when I read cards or work with mediumship, I follow my guidance. I see where my intuition takes me, and usually I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle the cards and then stop when I feel the need to. But tonight I didn't even get to shuffle the cards because the cards were kind of coming out of the deck at me. Some of them I felt I needed to, some were actually falling out. So the spread here tonight will be significant for some of you. So if it resonates with you, please listen to the message that's contained within it. So the first card we have is the Seven of Cups. And I felt unsure with this card. So I felt like there was a kind of nervousness. I didn't want to take the next step. I didn't want to move forward because of emotional situations surrounding you. So this is kind of where you're starting off, that you've got insecurities for whatever reason about taking the next step that you need to take. And this is specifically talking about your emotions. So this could be where you are looking for certain emotions. So you might be looking for love coming into your life, or it can be where there's things that have hurt you in the past which are holding you back and you're afraid of happening again. But this seven comes forward and you'll notice there's a moon at the top of the card and there's a sun at the bottom. So this talks about the kind of duality, and it almost feels like you had to go experience whatever it was that you experienced in the past to be able to deal with the current situation or to take the next steps that you need to take. So although there's this almost fear about taking the next step with this card, it very much comes forward to reassure you that the last time or the time that hurt you was really hard and emotional to go through, but the next time's going to be better, and it's going to be better for what you've experienced previously. So I feel like there's knowledge there where you can stop something from happening because you've already experienced it and you know where to draw the line this time where you perhaps didn't beforehand. But also you have the confidence of the experience from before to take you forward. Now this is a 7 card which talks about you manifesting your future and you creating your future. So I very much feel like this is talking about where you can either live in that fear place where you're afraid of getting hurt again, or where you can take the next step forward and everything's going to shine and be bright and be beautiful for you. Now, I do feel like I want to talk about jumping on to the 2 of Wands down here at the bottom. I want to talk about where it's not a quick fix. It's not an easy road. You do have a journey to go on. So whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your life, or whatever it is that you're looking for, it's not going to just fall in your lap. You're going to have to do the work to get it. But I feel like doing that work is going to be very satisfying because you'll achieve certain things as you go along. And it's almost like it's not the destination, but the journey that's important. So the next card we have is the 9 of Pentacles. Now the 9 normally talks about closing a door on something, and Pentacles are finances or abundance. So they're either your finances or they're the things that you're trying to welcome into your life. So maybe it's more friends, maybe it's more happy times, maybe it's more strong relationships or bonds within your life. So, although this is closing a door on something, we also have 4 feathers around the outside, which talks about stability. So I kind of feel like we're leaving the past behind and we're moving into a more stable phase. This is where your finances are concerned. This is where your abundance is concerned. This is where everything that you're trying to bring into your life is concerned. Now, the next card we have here is the Tower card. And the Tower card is... yeah, it's not a brilliant card. It's probably one of the worst in the tarot deck, to be honest. But it's just a dramatic card, if that makes sense. So it talks about where we almost achieve our goals, but something happens which kind of knocks us back in our tracks. And I feel like this is where I want to go back to the first card and talk about where we've experienced stuff in the past. So it kind of feels like you're going to go through a phase where you're going to think things are on the up, or things are moving towards the direction that you want, but something's going to stop you in your tracks. Something's going to make you think again, okay? But I feel like in that moment you have to draw on what happened in the past, so that you know that either this isn't the path you want to take, or that you don't want this person in your life that's caused this reoccurrence of these feelings that are deep down within inside you. So moving forward, we have the Devil card, which sounds worse than the Tower card, but it's really not. The Devil card is talking about the devil's in the details, okay? So when we're talking about people, this is the little things, so the red flags. And people talk about the things, the warning signs, right? The devil is talking about where you have the warning signs there in place. You know what you need to do. You just need to take the action on it. So the devil's in the details. Okay. So there's the finer details that are going on. And I kind of feel like, again, this is a choice. So kind of like the first card, it's a choice of whether you want to take action or not. It's a choice of which path you want to go down. So as much as you might want to stick to the path that you're on at that point, the devil card comes forward to say, do you really? Because we're just going to repeat history here if you do. So I feel like you need to choose the change in that point. However, moving on to the Two of Wands, like I say, this card is talking about where you have a long way to go. It's not going to be an easy path. It's not going to just fall at your feet, sorry. This has also got a rainbow on the card, so it's talking about where there's brighter times. There's it's like the rainbow after the rain. It's the sun coming out. It's things being much happier, much more consistent. And I feel like it's almost like you need to make a conscious effort to make that decision that you don't want what you've had in the past. You don't want to continue down this path. So it's almost like you cutting this person or the situation out of your life is you making that choice that you don't want that anymore. And I feel like there will be a major shift or a major change in energy for you at that point where you won't even entertain those sort of people again. Okay, so this kind of feels like there's specifically a type of person that you find yourself kind of being involved with. Now, there's nothing in these cards that really talks about relationships beyond the first card, but I do feel like this is talking or referring to people. Now, for some of you, that may not be the case, but I feel like you'll understand what this is talking about, relevant to your situation. But I feel like the people who are talking about people who are in this situation are talking about people, I feel like you need to hear me say the words, which is why I'm referencing people in this, that you've had a series of relationships, whether they're romantic relationships, business relationships, work relationships, whatever your situation is. I feel like you've had a series of relationships where you've repeated history. You're attracted to the same sort of people, or you attract the same sort of people, as the case may be, where you bring the wrong people into your life, you bring the wrong people into the situation that you're living. So I kind of feel like for some of you, this might be a business opportunity where you're trying to work with people of a certain type because that's who you've kind of been drawn to or have been drawn to you. But those aren't your people. Those aren't the right people. I feel like there's a major change coming with this devil card for you. And the devil in the detail is where you need to watch every single red flag of a person because you know what they're like. They may be a different physical person, but the personality is the same as what you've had to deal with in the past. So I feel like when you reach that devil card and when you make that decision to make that change in your life, it's going to be a huge turning point for you. And then when you continue on, like I say, nothing's going to land in your feet. This is real life. Or nothing's going to land at your feet, sorry. This is real life. But it does feel very much like making that decision is where everything's going to change for you and everything's going to start looking up. It's going to be much brighter. Like I say, it's the sunshine coming out after the rain. It's that beautiful sunny day, and that's what your life's going to feel like after you make that decision to cut these people out of your life. But I feel like there's somebody you have to cut out of your life to kind of seal the deal so that you don't introduce those people back into your life in the future. Okay, have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope this makes sense to you, and I will speak to you very soon.